What's good, everybody? It's Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com here with another Artist Marketing 911. Today we're covering the importance of an artist having an email list. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard having a mailing list is very important to artists, it's very important to producers, it's very important to anybody that is trying to sell a product pretty much. Now, you may have had questions in the past as to why this is so important, and I'm here to cover those today and hopefully answer a lot of your questions. First of all, what is a mailing list? Well, a mailing list is a collection of emails meant for you to basically keep in better touch with your audience, meant to keep in better touch with your fans and keep them up to date on shows, keep them up to date on new merchandise, new CDs, and just overall news with your brand. Why do you need a mailing list? I can go into many different reasons why it's important to your brand and why it's important to you as an artist, but I think that some facts might sit a little bit stronger with you. Remember MySpace? If you are an artist just like me, you probably invested a lot of time into your MySpace profile. You probably put all kind of crazy HTML. You probably put the craziest profile pictures. I mean, you probably invested a lot of energy into doing this. And what happened to MySpace? MySpace was susceptible to any other downfall that any other social network could be. And MySpace was a beast. Now think about the amount of friends that you may have had on MySpace. For me in particular, I think I had over 27,000 friends on MySpace, and I invested a lot of energy into getting them to my newest music. But what I didn't do is I didn't invest a lot of energy into trying to get them to an email list. And what happens to those 27,000 people? They go to another network, and now you got to go find them. The truth of the matter is you don't know what's going to happen to any of these social networks, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. All that you do know is that there are people on the other end, and you need to connect with those people. And one of the most effective ways you can connect with these people is through email. I was reading a statistic the other day that said people who purchase through email end up spending 138% more than people who never receive the email offer. Now, in your emails, you could give special deals that you would never give to the general public. You can give your fans a heads up on pre-orders and just things that will really drive your sales. And at the same time, you get to connect on a very personal level. You get to reply right back directly to your fans as opposed to spamming the general public. This is the most direct way that you could talk to your audience. And they can reply back to you. You guys can have a personal conversation. So all you artists who want to act Hollywood and don't want to reply to nobody on Twitter, well, guess what? Here's a perfect format for you to have a personable conversation and build your relationship up. Another important fact that I found was that 44% of email recipients make at least one purchase when they receive an email offer. Now, think about the worst case scenario. Think about if your Facebook gets deleted. Think about if your Twitter gets deleted. Think about if you have no more social media. How are you going to connect with these people? How are you going to stay connected with them? This is a question that I started to ask myself after MySpace, and I will never put all of my trust into a social network again. It's great platforms to use, but you do not want to put all your trust into that. Definitely put the weight of your connection with your audience on email. Another great question to ask is, well, who do you add to your email? You want to add people that show interest in your music, interest in your business, interest in your brand, interest in your merchandise. You want to add anybody to your email list that shows interest to your merchandise booth at a show, somebody that has questions about a t-shirt that maybe you don't have in their size. You want to keep them on your email list to basically put your product in front of people who have already shown interest in your product and are more than likely to buy. Now, there are many ways that you can organize a mailing list. In the past, I've used many different platforms for email, such as a pen and paper that basically asks them for their first name, their last name, so you can address them properly, their email, and then even their social media too. Tell me right now, how many shows have you gone to and seen people actually have an email list? It's not very common. So you can definitely separate yourself from other artists by just collecting these emails. Because what happens is, say you get 10 emails at one show, you get 15 at another show, you get 20 at another show. You're starting to build your fan base and you're starting to build people who are likely to go to shows, who are likely to buy merchandise because you met them at a show and you probably met them at your merchandise booth. These are the people that help you niche down and figure out who is it exactly that really likes my stuff. Is it predominantly women? Is it predominantly college kids? Is it predominantly the working force? You want to figure these things out so you know exactly who you're talking to, and I'm telling you, it's going to help everything all around, from your music creation to even the type of music that you're making and who you're speaking to and how you're speaking to them. Now, another important platform for you is going to be online email providers. And when I say online email providers, I'm talking about like a MailChimp.com. MailChimp.com basically organizes your list for you. They allow you to make what they call campaigns, to where you basically can design this professional looking email. You ever got an email from like Domino's or Pizza Hut and you're like, man, it looks very professional? A lot of these people are using programs like MailChimp to organize their emails, and it's so easy. And I'm going to go into a more comprehensive tutorial on how to set that up for you. But it's so easy, and it's so important because you want to have professional email. You want to make sure that, okay, look, I found the people that are more likely to purchase my CDs, are more likely to listen to my music, are more likely to purchase my merchandise. I do not want to drop the ball on this. And you can drop the ball by sending very spammy emails, by sending too many emails, by sending things that just say bye, 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 bye. There's a lot of things that you can do that can make people regret being on your mailing list. In addition to MailChimp organizing your entire email database, which doesn't take too long, you can import all your emails through a notepad or whatnot, is the fact that it tells you who's opening your emails and who's ignoring them. Now, this is good for if you're an artist and you're sending out your music to blogs and you want to see who's actually opening it and who's actually not opening, and who you should send to and who you shouldn't send to anymore. And you may say, well, what if somebody doesn't open my email for 4 or 5 months, and there's a possibility they may open it up another month? Here's the problem with that. When you're sending out emails and it comes back that the majority of people that you're sending emails don't want your emails are going to start going into the spam folder. And when they go into the spam folder, you don't even have the opportunity to be in front of your fans' eyes anymore. You want to make sure that people who get your email, you encourage them to mark it as important, that you even encourage them to reply. Because if people are replying to your email, it's almost like that Facebook algorithm. It's just really good for your score when it comes to judging the importance of your email to that particular person. So I hope this information helped you. Once again, it's Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com, Artist Marketing 911.